All right. All right. So, Anne Marie. All right. We take it from the top here.
So sorry,
Okay.
I came in a little late. So I'm Fizbo who had it in the newspaper. Is that the one that you're doing today?
No, that was an actual thing. So yeah,
Oh,
I
okay.
recruit. Yeah, no, that was an actual. That was a real thing. No, you're you can be a FISBO and you're moving to San Diego because you work for a big hotel chain in Marriott and you got promoted
Okay.
and you got to be there by June. And here we are. Okay.
Do you want me to be a certain personality type, or you don't care?
No, I'll pick that up. You choose the personality type.
Okay.
Because our conversation was brief.
Yep.
Okay. And
Yep.
so we'll take it from there. All right.
Okay.
Knock, knock.
Oh, you must be Bob.
Hi, Anne Marie. Thanks for
Hi.
having me over. I'm excited about getting your house on the market and getting it sold.
Okay, come on in.
I appreciate it. Anne Marie, do you mind if I take a quick look at your home?
Sure. I can show you the bedrooms and the kitchen, and we can go to the backyard. We did some work, so I can show
Okay,
that.
you know what?
I have all the
That would
receipts
be
for
that
it.
would be great. That would be awesome. Do you mind if I look at it the first time though on my own so I can see it as I'm looking at it through the eyes of the buyer? Because when we get your home listed, you're not going to be here when the buyers are looking at the property. And then after you sign everything, we can go ahead and point out all the wonderful things you did to the house. Would that be okay?
Well, I have a list of things, how much it cost, and how much it would cost today if it was done. So I have that list for you.
That is awesome because at the end of the day, the most important thing is that we do get the most amount of money from the sale of your home. Excellent.
Yeah.
I'll be right back. Anne Marie, beautiful house, as I expected. It is very well maintained.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Anne Marie, I wrote down 3 real important questions for you.
Okay.
Now I'm sorry, do you have that packet that I brought over that I dropped off a couple days ago?
Yeah, I have it. I made some notes on it. I really wasn't happy with your pricing or the price that you wanted to sell my house for. The price per square foot just didn't make sense to the comp. So I have that all here.
Okay, excellent, excellent. And so you got that. Okay, can you open that packet for me
Sure.
so we can get everything out? Yeah, there we go. Okay, excellent. Now, Anne Marie, the 3 important questions I need to ask you is 1, you absolutely have to sell your house.
I do. I'm moving to San Diego.
Moving to San Diego, fantastic.
Mhm.
And number 2, will you price your home to sell, or do you want to keep it on the market for a long period of time?
I'm not going to keep it on the market a long period of time. I'm going to have to sell, but I know the number that I need to get. I know the number that it will sell at, so I'm
Okay,
comfortable.
beautiful. Okay, so it's all about the numbers. I got you. That's great.
Mhm.
And so 3, Anne Marie, do you want me to handle the sale for you?
I wasn't really happy with the numbers that you came up with, so I thought we could just jump to that right now.
Yeah, actually, we'll get to that in just a moment, and I'm glad you brought that up because we're going to cover that in just a moment. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right, excellent. So, Anne-Marie, just real quick, and we'll get right to the numbers. At the end of my presentation tonight, 1 of 3 things will happen. 1, you'll have the opportunity to list your home with me.
Okay.
Or 2, you decide not to list your home with me. Or 3, I'll decide not to take your listing. Okay.
Okay.
But any one of those is fine.
Perfect.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Excellent. Anne-Marie, if we can agree on the price of your home, will you sign your contract? Will you sign the contract and list your home with me tonight?
Well, it's not just the price of the home; it's your commission and my net. So there's a lot more to talk about than
Okay.
just the price.
Okay. Excellent. And Anne-Marie, you said you were moving to San Diego. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. And you said you were moving there because you got a big job promotion.
Yeah. Yep.
Congratulations. I would be excited.
Thank you.
So that's a big move for you, huh?
Yeah, yeah, it is.
Right. So really, besides the numbers, it's very important that you sell your home on time so you can get to San Diego on time so you can start, get acclimated and start your job off on the right foot. Is that correct?
Yeah, I mean, the good thing is that I can stay in the hotel for as long as I need to before I find a home. I want to, make sure that I'm doing the right thing and in the right neighborhood. But yeah, I do want to
Okay,
sell this
great.
and
You
get
do
this
want to
wrapped
sell
up
it.
so I
Okay.
can just start fresh.
Okay, so you can start fresh. Okay.
Mhm.
Now, you said you wanted to price your home at 750,000. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. And now you said you weren't planning on, you said you owe very little on it. I think it was like 50 grand left or something. Is
Yep.
that right? Okay, beautiful.
49,872.
Excellent. That's a lot of equity right there. We're going to protect your equity. That's why sellers like you choose agents like me to protect your equity and get your home sold and get you to on time. Get your house, get you to San Diego on time. Now, you weren't planning to sell it yourself, correct?
No, I don't have time for that. I've got too much going on.
Okay. And you did want all your money out. Is that correct?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. So you want the most amount of money from the sale of your home, right? And you
Hmm.
want to get to San Diego on time. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. Why don't you just go ahead and sign the contract so I can get you what you want in the time you want? Because time is of the essence, right? And get you to San Diego on time.
Well, like I mentioned, I'm not comfortable with the price that you're suggesting and the commission and my net. Those are my three
Okay,
issues.
so price, commission, and net. Okay, I've written that down earlier because you brought that up when I called. And so, Anne Marie, there are two issues we have to look at tonight. Number one, your motivation to sell the home, right?
I'm motivated. We
And
don't need
number
to talk about
two,
that.
yeah, we don't need to talk about that. And the price we set on your home. So that's what we need to focus on. Okay.
Exactly.
So I prepared what we call a comparative market analysis. And there are two
Mhm.
parts to this research. Part one, we call fantasy land, and that's what homeowners try to sell their homes for. And part
Okay.
two, we call reality. That's where professional real estate agents list and sell homes for. And we're going to have to decide tonight where you're going to spend your time.
Okay.
Okay?
Yep.
All right, excellent. So, Anne Marie, the purpose of a comparative market analysis to determine the value of your home in the eyes of a buyer. And do you know
Okay.
how buyers determine value?
Um, well, if everyone's like me, they're going to analyze it and make sure the numbers work out.
You're right. They're going to analyze it. They're going to comparison shop. They're going to look at the price of your home based on its features and benefits and compare it with the features and benefits of similar homes that have sold recently or are currently on the market. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
Okay, excellent. So, Anne Marie, for example, if you were going to purchase a new car and one dealership had that car for $50,000, okay,
Hmm.
and another dealership had that same car for $50,000,
Hmm.
but the other dealership had a $8,000 sports package on it. Okay,
Hmm.
all right, which would be more valuable?
Same price, the one with the sports package, obviously.
Yeah, why? Of course, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but what if you went back to the first dealership and
Hmm.
he said, "Look, I can't add the sports package on here, but I can take 8 grand off the price." Which would be a better value then?
No, take the 8 grand off the price. 100%.
Why would that be?
Who needs all that?
Right. You would like to take that extra money and spend it what you would want. Is that correct?
Absolutely.
Beautiful.
I put
Okay.
it in the bank personally.
Yeah, there you go. Put it right in the bank. Be
Mhm.
careful which bank, right, Anne Marie?
Well, that's for
So,
sure. That's for sure.
but so you can see, Anne Marie, if you want to increase the value, you either have to A, lower your price, or B,
Hmm.
have more features and benefits for the same price. Does that make sense?
Perfect. Yeah, perfect sense.
Okay. So unless you're planning to add more features and benefits to your home, are you?
I don't think I need to. Do you think I need to?
I can't see what you would add. No, you're
Okay,
absolutely correct on that. So price is the only issue. Can I show you what I mean?
absolutely.
Okay. All right. I'm going to just share the screen real quick. All right. Where are we? Okay. So Anne Marie, you see this house right here? Now your square footage on your house
Wait,
is
Bob, I only see
3,117.
Bob, I only see your
What's that?
Gmail. I only see your Gmail.
Oh,
Hector,
The
do you
same
well,
see
thing,
let's,
Gmail.
just Gmail? Yeah.
okay, let me see this. Yeah, this is a little different on how this runs slide. Let me see here. Okay, so I'm gonna go back here and stop share and uh, dot loop. I have dot loop. Okay, so before dot loop, oh, here we go. Okay, do we see that?
Oh, yeah,
Yes.
now I see it.
Okay, all right. So your house is 3,117 square feet. Okay, Anne Marie?
Yeah.
And if you can see, this one right here is currently pending. Okay?
The Lilac
And you
Way.
wanted, yes, okay?
Yeah.
That means
Yeah.
it's currently on the contract. Now you wanted 750,000 for your home, okay?
Yeah. Yeah.
And can you see what the listing price is right here?
I see original price of 729 and a previous price of 709 and the list price of 728.
Correct. Okay. All right. And how many bedrooms and how many baths?
6 bedroom, 5 bath.
Okay, so yours is a 5 bedroom,
Mhm.
5 bath, and this one's a 6 bedroom, 5 bath. Okay.
Yeah, but we're at the
All
same
right.
square feet footage. So
Correct. So there isn't going to be a whole lot of difference, right? Someone you might have a bigger living room, and they got one extra bedroom. Okay.
yeah,
And okay, and you said you wanted yours at it's 750,000. Is that correct?
750. Yeah.
Is the price that you were looking at? Okay. All
Mhm.
right. So now there are two solds in the neighborhood that are pretty close to yours. Can you see this one right here?
Lana Avenue and the Lilac Way.
Yes. Are you familiar with that home?
Yeah, I think I went into the open house.
Oh, okay. Excellent. All right. And see what it sold for?
I gave that one away. Is that 629, 530?
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that price per square foot is too low, but that didn't have all the upgrades that my home has. So I'm not worried about that being a comp at all.
Okay. All right. And then if you look at this home, what's the address on this one? To the right of it?
3345 Lilac Way.
Okay. And how many square footage is that home?
That's the same as mine. It's the
Okay.
same as
And the price
same
that
as
it sold at?
that one sold at 628, 320.
Hmm.
But again, you know, didn't have all the upgrades that I have. I mean, if you look at the two on Lilac, they're almost $100,000 difference, right?
Yeah, that's
So
correct. You're right.
yeah, I still feel confident with 240 a square foot for mine. I mean, these homes are
So,
not as nice as mine.
So Anne Marie, specifically, why do you believe that your house is worth $125,000 more than the other houses?
Well, the two that closed they're just way too low. I don't know if they were giving it away, if it was
Mhm.
a fire sale. I don't know if it's the developer that was giving incentives. I'm not quite sure what happened there. The one that's in escrow right now, I mean, that one is not as nice as mine. I've got several upgrades. My location's better. I'm in a very quiet street.
Yeah. And
So,
these are all in the same, in that same neighborhood, Anne Marie.
yeah.
Now we do realize, now let's take a look at this, right?
Hmm.
So number one, you have to be in San Diego by June. Is that correct?
Yes, I have to physically be there by June. Yes.
Okay, so
But
you have to be there by June. Okay.
yeah, I don't have to
And
have my home sold. I mean, I can live in
right.
the hotel and put my stuff in storage. I don't want to give away the home.
No.
Have a
And
certain number
and
that
we
I
don't
want.
want to give it away. So my job is to net you the most amount of money. So let's look at the factors. Number one, you have to be in San Diego by June. Okay.
Yes.
Number two, okay, just when you comparison shop, buyers are going to comparison shop, right? They're going to look at the
Hmm.
price and benefits and features of your home. Okay.
Yeah.
Just as you were looking at one car versus another, you'd rather buy the lower priced one because you would take that savings and use it for what you wanted to use. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay, so obviously buyers are going to want, other buyers just are going to want to do the same thing, don't you think?
Yeah, but I mean, do I have any competition? Is there anything else out there? These are all
There are
waiting to
some
be sold.
actives that have been on the market for quite some time. There's
Okay.
not a lot of competition out there, but let's keep this other fact in mind. You do want to net the most amount of money. So by keeping your house on the market for a long period of time, Anne Marie, right?
Hmm.
Buyers tend to lose interest. And when the new houses come on the market, that's where their attention focuses to. So during that time that you're on the market for an extended period of time, you're paying property insurance, homeowners association dues,
Hmm.
okay? You're paying taxes, you're paying for utilities, and you're paying for the maintenance of your lawn. Okay.
Correct.
So, yeah, and that's a lot of money. Where that neighborhood is, that's a lot of money. Okay.
It is.
So you're
Hmm.
going to be spending that money versus getting it. So, see, houses that sell for top dollar sell within the first few weeks of it being listed. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay. So our ultimate job, right, is to net the most amount of money. So by keeping it on the market for a long period of time, because we want to
Hmm.
get retail value for the features and benefits that you have already enjoyed in the house
Yeah.
from the next buyer that would probably just settle for a similar house, but keep the savings to do the things that they want to. Okay.
Hmm.
You're actually going to be spending more money in the future. Okay. And then being in San Diego versus Orlando, Florida,
Hmm.
that's a lot of expense and a lot on your mind. Is that correct?
Well, yeah, I'd have to run those numbers before I make a decision.
Right, right. So the important thing is to get the most amount of money. So we don't want to overprice it, okay, and keep it on the market for a long period of time. We want to make it an attractive price where buyers are putting offers on your property versus the competition. Does that
So,
make sense?
do you have the competition here so I can see what my competition is?
There isn't anything on the market. There was one house on the market for 800,000. It's been on the market for over 60 days.
And
Okay.
how many days have these been on the market?
As
How
you
long
can
did
see, let's
it
look
exist?
at Lilac. Has been on the market for, let's see the ADOM on here. Well, we have the combined days on market is 45.
And then the other two say 0. Does that mean that they were
Yeah,
sold by
0.
the
They probably
builder?
had buyers in advance. Right.
Okay.
So based on these numbers, okay, and I know
Mhm.
you wanted 750,
Mhm.
based on all this information, Anne Marie, what price do you feel as though we should use in order to create value in the eyes of the buyer versus the competition?
Well, I don't know. I really need to crunch the numbers now, thinking about the holding cost that I would have if I don't sell it immediately. I mean, it's March now. If this one on Lilac took 45 days and mine took 45 days, I really have to crunch the numbers.
Anne Marie, I'm gonna suggest a listing price of $725,000. Will you, Anne Marie, list your home tonight at 725?
I'm really coming down on price at that number, Bob. So would you come down with your commission?
Actually, that's a great question, and as the price goes down, my commission follows it the same way, right? So if your house sells at 10% less, or let's say 5% the listing price, my commission is going to be 5% less as well too. Okay, so my commission, or the commission that my company charges, right, is the same amount as the direct correlation of the price of your home. So it does come down. It will come down. That's why my goal is to sell your house for the most amount of money, Anne Marie, so that I can get you the most amount of money, number one. Number two, spend the less amount of money of keeping it on the market with HOA fees, taxes, property insurance, maintenance, lawn maintenance. And like you said, now you're going to be holding up your furniture or holding things up. And I mean, I'm sure a hotel they'll keep you up in, but I'm sure you're going to want to find your own space and place when you get over there. And it'd be a lot easier if this place would be sold. Is that correct?
Yeah, good point.
Excellent. Excellent.
So
So,
can we
Anne
do
Marie,
7:30? I feel comfortable with 7:30.
at 730,000?
Yeah.
Okay, excellent. Go ahead and sign the contract, Anne Marie.
Okay.
All right, all right, all
right.
right. Congratulations.
Wow.
What do you think, Anne Marie, how he did?
Obviously I was being
Oh, my
analytical.
God.
And
Analytical and super dull.
well,
I know,
was
you were doing your
super
job. You were doing your
dull.
job. You did a beautiful job.
So I was really trying to get you to do the numbers with me. So you didn't do that. And so that would be my two biggest feedback is I kept talking about the numbers, the holding costs. Like I would have appreciated if you said, let's run them. What's your mortgage? Okay. $1,500. What's your HOA? What's your average utility? What's this? How much is it going to cost to store? And literally run the numbers with me. I was waiting for that. I wish you had active comps. The 3 comps were good until I saw 2 of them. I think they were sold by the builder because they had 0 days on market. But I think you could have had a stronger if I had competition that had been sitting on the market for 30, 60, 90, 120 days. I loved the commission. I loved how you said, I was waiting for any other questions. And I loved how you said, with you bringing your price down, my commission goes down. But you should have stopped there. You kept going. You said, when your
Yeah,
commission comes down, my commission comes down. And then you
yeah.
kept talking and kind of trying to justify it when, especially me, I was trying to be analytical. I would have been like, oh, that makes sense. Okay. And then moved on. But I loved how you brought up at the end the whole, like putting my stuff in storage. And the whole the whole reason is if we put it on the market now at a lower price, I'm going to spend less in the long run keeping it on the market. I liked how you tied that all together because being analytical, even though I wanted 750 because my bottom line was this, taking that into account, I realized that I didn't take those numbers into account. So
What do you think, Bob? How did you do?
I think she's right. I have done that before. When I picked up on someone super analytical, I already had numbers prepared when I showed up. It did cross my mind a little bit, but I didn't want to drag it out too long. But yeah, she's absolutely right. That would have been, if I was prepared ahead of time, that would have been really, because she wasn't analytical. She was
Analytical. She was
She was
dull as the
super
doorknob.
analytical.
She was like, I have a total different take.
okay.
My
What's your
take
take,
is
Hector?
that you and Marie were in control. He was not in control. You were just like, A, I think that I don't think that you closed enough. B, I don't think that you brought San Diego all the time. Okay. But you were like, you were shy. You were shy. You were just like, she was really in control. She was really not, you were not showing enough energy. I mean, you have to mirror and match. We know that. But to a certain extent, in my opinion, I think that, looking at as from far away, I think that she controlled you all the way through, except when the part that, what are the numbers? And you kept postponing her, we're going to take a look at that in a quick minute. Or, we're going to review, we're going to go into that. That's the only time that you were really, really, you took control of the conversation. I think that she did her beautiful job. She did an excellent job being analytical, being dull, super by the numbers, and which is exactly what she needed to be. I think that you could have been a little bit more proactive. Number two is that you tried to close, but she's in charge, so you kind of backed out. And then you were just like not moving forward with it. And I think that was part of that you were not closing enough, but you did bring San Diego all the time. And I think that another thing is it's in the price. I mean, that everything was there at 628 and she wants 750. And I was like, well, wait, there was one house that was on the market for 45 days. That first comparable was 45 days, and you still went for 725 or 730, which is good to take the listing, but at the same time, I mean, I don't know your particular market. I know that there's not a whole lot of inventory, but at the same time, it's a give and take. She needs to be in San Diego, but at the same time, I don't know if that's going to be way out of the ballpark. So,
No, you're right, and I wrote something down too. I didn't follow it.
I think that worst case.
One of the things in the numbers was you do know the interest rates just.
Yeah, I mean, you get brought up, the interest rate brought up, the market is slowing down.
That would have been something that could have thrown in there as a numbers team.
Yeah, you could have gone with her and explained all of these that you have the carrying cost. And when you start adding up, the mortgage payments, taxes, insurance, all of that stuff, and the homeowners association, that carrying cost, it really adds up for a while. And the fact that the market, it's, there's no inventory, but at the same time, they're selling for that 628. So that 730, it's like you took a listing for just taking a listing. I don't know. I think I would have gone for something like maybe, I know that you want 720. I know that you want 750. I mean, based on what I know, based on what I'm seeing here, based on the fact that it was 45 days on the market, I think we need to take a reality pill. Remember, we talked about reality and fantasy. I think why don't we go for 650? And if we start getting a bunch of, multiple offers, we can always bump it up. But, if we want to get offers, we need to be close to this sales price, because you got the appraiser is going to come in and he's going to be, knocking down this price if we get to that point, if we get offers. So that's my take. So I don't know. I mean, that's, I don't know.
I was also going to mention, I don't know how your agents are there, but we would call that agent that's pending and just ask, hey, I saw that you were on the market 45 days. I'm doing some comps. Are you closing at, above,
Yeah.
or below asking? So you're not asking them, what are you closing at? Because they're not going to tell you, right? Because they're not closed yet. But we would say, hey,
Yeah,
I'm doing some
I
comps.
normally do that. Actually, there's a lot more comps, but they weren't the same square footage, and they were lower square footage, but higher priced. And I didn't want to throw those in, because then I would have been in for a battle with you on that. And I spent a few minutes putting this together, but I didn't really spend a lot
What
of
do you
time.
think?
Yeah, reading as much
Now
as
that
I
we've gone
would
through
on a
the
regular listing
exercise,
presentation.
What do you think that property that she wanted to list at 730, knowing what you know of that market, what do you think it was going to go for?
Oh, it probably would be between a little over 700,000.
So you think that it would close over 700?
Somewhere in that range, based on the other comps. I chose these two, and I didn't look at the days on market, and I was like, there was some. The funny thing is, and I don't know the neighborhood. I know the neighborhood well. I don't know it that well, because I think in the other phases that are next to that neighborhood, there's higher price homes sold at a higher price at lower square footage. I didn't even notice those were 0 days. And
So you think that house would go for somewhere around above $700,000?
Yeah, there's some in there that definitely up to 800,000,
Okay,
900,000. Yeah,
and then that's something.
and there's some close to 700 at like 227, 2,800 square feet for that neighborhood. But it wouldn't have been 750. It was going to be more like, probably, if I had to guess, between 7 and 720.
Okay, well, that if the case, then
off the top of my head, I just wanted something to go off of when we did the exercise. I really didn't focus that hard. And then when she came out with analytical, I was like, oh boy.
Analytical.
You're like, no, Chief, can you be like a
Trying to pull
driver?
out the
Okay, Bob,
calculator.
you get to do the affirmations.
another-
You do the affirmations.
Oh, just
All
real
right.
quick. I'm not here.
Okay,
next
you're not
week.
going to be in?
I'm
Okay.
not going to be here next week. But I
All
can
right.
do the
I am a
following week.
focused real
I'm
estate
a
agent.
focused real estate agent.
I'm a focused real estate agent.
I am the number one
I am
real
the
estate
number
agent.
one real estate
I'm
agent.
the number one real estate agent.
They will sign the contract.
They will sign the contract because
They will sign the contract because
I'm a winner.
I'm
All right. See you next week. Great job. See you later.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
All righty. Thanks, guys.